Hello and welcome to Talking Politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel. I'm Nistula Hebbar, political editor with The Hindu, and as always, I will be taking you through this episode where we discuss some big event that has made headlines in domestic politics. This was a week which had an epoch-making event and another which evoked a deep sense of deja vu. Now, the epoch-making event was, of course, the consecration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya on January 22nd. It was a ceremony which was filled with ritual, spectacle, spirituality, and meaning, both cultural and political. And the deja vu, that came from the events that happened on Thursday. I'm recording this on January 26th, Republic Day. Happy Republic Day, everybody. But a day before, senior leaders of the BJP from Bihar were asked to come down to Delhi because it looked as though Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar was going to change sides for the fifth time in a row. This time again from Mahagathbandhan back to the NDA fold, and there was a lot to discuss. That is a developing story, and that is not what we're going to discuss today. So we are going to discuss a third it's a related topic but also different. We are going to discuss the findings of the Archaeological Survey of India report on the Gyanvapi mosque and its implications for the legal case going ahead and for politics of India. Petitioners on both sides, the management of the Gyanvapi mosque and the Hindu petitioners, they got the Archaeological Survey of India report on the survey on the mosque. Now that mosque is adjacent to the Kashi Vishwanath temple, and it has long been claimed by Hindus that this was a site of a Hindu temple and that a mosque was constructed after the alleged destruction of it by a Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb sometime in the past. The survey report came out and it has basically concluded that there can be said to have existed a Hindu temple prior to the construction of the existing structure, which is the mosque. Welcome back again, and let's dive right in. Now, what is the Gyanvapi issue? As I said before, it has long been contended that a Hindu temple stood where the mosque now does. This issue has a long legal history, which we won't go into too much detail. We will touch upon it, of course, but we won't go into it in too much detail because we may need 2 more episodes of Talking Politics to get through it all. And there are enough explainers and timelines in the Hindu which have been filed in the past. You can do a Google survey. I'll try to add some to the show notes of this episode so that you can get up to speed. Now, suffice to say, several petitions have been filed before the Supreme Court of India, the Allahabad High Court, the Varanasi District Court regarding the Gyanvapi mosque case. As per reports, there are 18 pleas related to the Gyanvapi dispute in various courts across Uttar Pradesh and in the Supreme Court of India. And the original case with regard to the Gyanvapi mosque is filed in the High Court, Allahabad High Court. Now, the petitioners seek to address various aspects of the dispute, including the mosque's alleged construction by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and the right to worship for Hindus and Muslims inside the disputed site. Now, in 2021, a third case was filed by 5 Hindu women. This is apart from the 2 cases in the Varanasi District Court. Third case was filed by 5 Hindu women seeking permission from the court to conduct daily prayers at a shrine behind the western wall of the mosque complex, and the protection of the idols that would be consecrated there. The Varanasi court in 2022 heard the petitions by the 5 women, and a survey was carried out by district authorities after that. If you recall, there was a lot of talk of there being a shivling inside the mosque that was reportedly discovered, etc., etc. Now, in July 2023, the Varanasi court then issued directions for a scientific investigation of the mosque premises by the ASI. District and Sessions Judge Ajay Krishna Vishwesha directed the ASI to conduct ground-penetrating radar survey just below the 3 domes of the building in question and conduct an excavation if required to come to a particular conclusion. Now, after July the ASI conducted the survey. There were some extensions also given to the ASI to complete its work. And on December 12th, the ASI submitted its report to the Varanasi District Court in a sealed cover. So therefore, on Wednesday, that is 24th of January, the Varanasi District Court ordered that the report of the scientific survey of the Gyanvapi mosque conducted by the ASI be made public, hence allowing all petitioners, both Hindus and Muslims, getting access to the same. Of course, then it became public. The petitioners, the lawyer for the petitioners from the Hindu side held a press conference on Thursday and gave the main findings of the report. Now, what were the findings of this survey? Now, the western wall of the Gyanvapi mosque is the remaining part of the pre-existing Hindu temple. Now, this is the finding of the ground penetrating radar survey report. And the ASI also stated that it had systematically and scientifically studied the pillars and pilasters used in the existing structure, that is the mosque, and it was found that for the enlargement of the mosque and constructing Sahan, parts of the pre-existing temple, including pillars and pilasters, were reused with very few modifications. Therefore, during the survey, the agency had noticed a number of inscriptions on the existing and pre-existing structures. A total of 34 inscriptions were recorded during the survey and 32 stampages were taken. The agency said that these were inscriptions on the stones of the pre-existing Hindu temples which had been reused during the construction repair of the existing mosque structure. The inscriptions are in Devanagari, Grantha, Telugu and Kannada scripts. Now, the reuse of earlier inscriptions of the structure suggest that earlier structures were destroyed and their parts were reused in constructing the existing structure. Names of 3 deities such as Janardhana, Rudra and Umeshwara are found in these inscriptions, said the ASI report. Now, what are the implications of this report and what does it have to do with the Places of Worship Act of 1991? Now, the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act was passed by Parliament and enacted into law in 1991 during the height of the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi movement. This basically, at that time, the Babri Masjid was still standing and P.V. Narasimha Rao headed a Congress government at the center. Basically, this act was because the movement was raging. There was the Ram Rath Yatra, etc. happening, and there was a great fear because even in the rhetoric during these yatras and in the Sangh Parivar rhetoric, there was also a talk of Kashi, the Gyanvapi mosque, and the Mathura being similar cases of mosques taking the place of Hindu places of worship. So, therefore, the act was brought in to freeze the status of religious places of worship as they existed on August 15th, 1947, and the only exception, of course, being the Ram Janmabhoomi temple, and prohibits the conversion of any place of worship and ensures the maintenance of their religious character. So, if in 1947, if you just kind of look at the bare bones of the act, if in 1947, a place is a mosque, it should remain a mosque. If a place is a temple, it should remain a temple. If it's a church, it should remain a church. And no move should be undertaken to change the religious character of that place of worship. In 2019, however, a constitutional challenge to the act was filed in the Supreme Court. There were search for loopholes, of course. There are always loopholes which you can kind of challenge. So therefore, a constitutional challenge to the act was filed in the Supreme Court of India, which will have to decide on the matter apart from another case existing from before 2019, whether or not the petitions on the Gyanvapi mosque are maintainable at all after the 1991 Act of Places of Worship Act. That is, a case demanding that the implementation of the act will mean the scrapping of the Gyanvapi case. And then on the other side, you have another case which says that the Places of Worship Act does not apply on its own to the Gyanvapi case, and possibly going further to even the Mathura Krishna Janmabhoomi case. Now, this issue has huge implications in terms of politics as well, because this is a legal question. No challenge to that this is a very, very complicated legal issue, and it seems likely that there is going to be the constitution of a bench, bigger bench, constitutional bench to hear this out, but it has political implications as well. For long, as I said, the RSS and the Sangh Parivar have had the agenda to for not just the Ram temple, but also restore what they say are Hindu religious places where mosques now stand, that is in Mathura and Kashi. Although RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat had said in the past that there is no need to look for a shivling under every mosque, and basically wanted to draw a line under what had been achieved through the Ram temple movement. The act had been passed to at that time to prevent further schisms in society, that you have a dispute with regard to the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid conflict that has inflamed communal passions, and why have it spread into different areas and then make it very difficult for the country to maintain degree of unity and integrity. Now, this long running battle has in its background litigation, constitutional challenge, questions of faith and archaeology. It's a potent mix that can go either which way. A lot will also depend on the ascendant political power and how the government of the day also handles things. We will be tracking this story going into more developments as and when they happen. But for this week, this is all I have for you. Thank you very much for watching.